if you take a gray bull and a gray cow with good copies of genes and put them together, you're going to move forward at a lot faster pace than trying to fix a bad cow with good genes from a bull.
And we've been doing genomic testing for 3-4 years. 3 years. We kind of jumped into it. So where it really benefited us was when we started testing, we were carrying about 120% heifers versus just our lactating herd. That's not even the mature herd. So we were carrying a lot of replacement animals. And we were sending them off to a heifer ranch, which obviously there's going to be a margin there that the person that owns that heifer ranch is making. And we, like most guys 3 or 4 years ago, weren't very happy about the economics of the dairy industry, so we needed to find a way to remain competitive. And we started with 9-month-old animals and worked our way all the way down until we consistently had a group of animals to test every 30 days. So once we did that, Paul's slides were pretty indicative of the program that we're doing. We're calling anywhere from 15 to 25% of each group that's tested. And at first, we were looking solely at net merit dollars, which is a great starting place. But if you're going to get that much information, you might as well use all of it, is kind of the plan that we took about it. So you're given more than net merit dollars. You're given milk, DPR, you're given so many other things. And now we're really starting to see that those animals that we tested 3.5 years ago, as they're entering the milking herd, how accurate those numbers are for us.
We started testing like 2.5 years ago. We just started testing all the newborns as they come in. For a long time, we just held on to the results. We wanted to see what was going to happen with them. So we just kept testing everything, and then as it started coming into the milk stream, we started going back and looking at those animals and comparing how they're milking to what we got back from them. Some of the biggest things I see is somatic cell, pretty dead on, times bred per pregnancy, things like that. And what we do for our heifers is basically our top end ones get sex semen, our low end ones just get conventional semen, so we're trying to up our average as they're coming in. Our average probably went from, like Paul said, started about 200, but it's like 400 or something now. So we're just gradually making steps. We're not as progressive as you are.
We've been genomic testing for 4 to 5 years now. We're probably not as doing it the same way as what the other two are. We're doing it more on a hand-selected type basis. We're doing it for we'll probably test about 20 to 25 a month of our own, and it's totally off sire stacks, different new bulls that we're using, and then we've had registered cattle, so those are obviously the ones we're doing. Of the ones we do every month, we're doing probably 10 to 15% of those are non-registered animals, which we have registered some to bring them in if their numbers are good enough. I think the genomics has been beneficial in our situation. I think it's been good to see some of the early genomic bulls that we've used kind of come through, that we have daughters of those that are 4th, 5th lactation now. And you can see the ones that have followed through with their proof. There's certain ones that dropped off early on. You can see the cows, and there's other ones that I wish we would use a lot more of.
Yeah.
We're not using any one bull, genomic bull, overly heavily. We use a lot of different ones. We try not to use more than 50 units of semen on a higher genomic bull. Then we'll go back later on and use more of that certain bull later once we see tendencies that he does that we like.
And we're very aggressive. I mean, when I get the results, they're sold within 7 days of when I have them. 43% cull rate 2 years ago. This year, it trickles down. It takes time to get that cull rate. I think that we can remain between about a 24 and a 28% cull rate and maintain our herd size. So if our first lactation animals went from 43% down to 26, that means that has been made up by us doing a better job keeping those older animals around. And when you genomic test, one thing you get is productive life. So that is a characteristic that I value very much.
From what I've seen, both through the way I can process it through DHI Plus, it's hard. But what I see is I look at net merit in there, and then net merit shows pretty good correlation with smack cell. My higher net merit cows have lower smack cell. The the lower ones will have higher smack, higher smack cell, and I've seen that it's pretty strong. I mean, I'll graph it, I'll show it, it's there.
Basically right now what people do, they basically rob their beef money to support their heifer program. Why don't you invest that beef money into better semen, better genetic, in the most profitable animals, and get rid of the ones that are least profitable, and then that turns into real profit. It actually moves the herd up in profitability and sustainability. I think that's what we're here about. That's what it's all about right now, is that we have money. It's just that we take money from the beef check and we're supplying these heifers that we don't really need, but we're doing it because we got them.
So if you're going to use it to cull heifers, that's the very obvious, most cash flow positive way of using genomics, day one. And it's hard to continue to calculate that, because if you sell an animal at 4 months of age and she was going to calve out at 24 months of age, and then you were going to wait 70 days to find out what she was, you've got 22 months worth of feed into that animal before you've decided if she's worthwhile or not. So once you sell her at 4 months, though, every month that cash flow savings is there. It's not just, okay, it's here for month one. No, it's here for month 1 through 22. So if you do that over and over and over and over again every single month, cash flow happens quickly and positively.
You can't compare genomic young sires with proven bulls apples to apples. You have to allow for some drift in the genomic bulls. The higher ones will drop more on average, but the entire group, 75% of them will drop as you go on. Now that could get better as they do a better job looking at the SNPs, making the correlations and relationships and all those things. It could get better.
So all three of us are doing situations a lot differently, and we look at genomics as a tool. We're using the genomic information from the bulls to make our mating selections, and we're using that information for probably about 50%. The other 50% is looking at the physical needs of the cow. What does the cow need? Does the cow need a better set of feet and legs? And finding those bulls. We might use that bull that's only 2150, but he might be the highest foot leg composite in the breed. If I've got a dozen cows that need that bull, then that's the way we're using it. So there still needs to be a lot of it. And the genomic thing in our situation, we don't use it on all the heifers, but we still cull heifers, and those heifers that are 3 inches shorter, that they have a wry tail, or they have. You're going to have all these other problems go along. You're going to have heifers with one horn, all the other stuff goes along. Those will find themselves to the beef pen, in our opinion. I don't necessarily need the genomic information to tell me that. And with parent averages on the sire and the dam, being we have all of our cows ID'd, we're able to get all the parent averages we need close enough to make that decision for breeding when they come into that heifer pen. So that's kind of our theory on it.
And if we talk about return on investment, you're going to get a better return on investment, because that bull will do everything that he advertised it's going to do, versus trying to put it on a broken cow and then say, why is this offstream garbage out of this bull? Well, he's not a miracle worker. He's still only got what he's got,